Hello and welcome back to Desktop Calendar Help video. In this video we'll see how to edit text and colors in Adobe InDesign. So let's open the InDesign file and let's start with the editing process. Before we do that, you can see there are first two layers in the layers panel are print and info box. So let me just turn off everything else so you can see it. Basically you have the technical information about the template here, and then we have the trim and save text size areas in the print info box. These two layers are for your information, and you can either leave them on if you wish to change the position of the text or you want to move things around so you'll know where the edges of the template and the save text area are. You can turn them off, or you can simply delete them if you don't need them anymore. In the links panel you can see all the links that we have with this template. Majority of these links are of course the image placeholders, and I'll show you how to add your own images or how to edit the images that come with this template. And finally we have the logo template. I've used the vector version of the logo, but of course you can change that with any kind of raster logo you wish, and I'll show you that a little bit later. In the pages panel, if you've never worked with InDesign before, you have two types of pages. We have the master pages that are here, and as you can see I've named them based on the season of the calendar. So we have the cover page, winter, spring, summer, fall, and we have the base with the base holder for this template, and we have the pages where all those elements have been added and applied. Now the thing about the master pages is, let's say for instance here, when it comes to winter or any other element, the point of master pages is to put all the elements that are joined for different types of pages and put them on a master page, so you don't have to have them on each and every page individually. So when you're changing something, let's say we want to make this wider for some reason, let's say I want to do this, I don't have to go through 3 or 12 pages to do that. I just do that on the master page and it's going to apply on all the pages that I have. If you want to, for instance, the other way that you can use master pages is, let's say I want to make this, instead of 4 colors, I want to make it 2, and I like this blue color, so I want to make the half of my template blue. I can just select the pages that are colored differently or have different master applied to them. I select them, go to right click, go to apply master to pages, and then here I'm going to select, instead of the spring, I'm going to select winter, press OK, and now when I go to something that used to be spring, you can see it's applied the master page elements. Now of course I can do the same thing in reverse, so I'm just going to put back the spring, and voila. That's the great use of the master pages. The other thing of course is, on the master page we have the info here, so you don't have to type in and copy and paste your information throughout the entire design. You edit this info here on the master page and it's going to be applied on the main pages. Okay, now let's start with editing the colors. In order to edit the colors, we can either select the individual elements of this template, and then let me go to the master page. So let's say I select the individual element and then I double click on the color and I'm going to change it and press OK, and that's one way of doing it. Now, the faster and easier way to do it is using the colors from the swatches panel. If you don't see your swatches panel, go to Window, Color, and then Swatches, or simply press F5 on your keyboard and it will open and close the swatches panel. Now let me just bring up the swatches panel here so you can see them better. And here in the swatches panel we basically have all of the colors we've been using. So let's say we want to make changes to this winter, and I'm gonna start with this color. Now if you don't know which color is where, unfortunately in CS5 there's no way to group the colors. If you're working in the CC version, you'll have all these colors grouped, so you won't have to wonder which color is which. So let me find the color. If you don't know which color is being used, simply select the element with that color, and we can see this is the lighter blue, and we have the darker blue here. We can open up this gradient winter and we can see the darker color is this 8550. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going back to the master page. I'm going to double click on this color, and let's say we want to turn it into something like magenta. So as you can see, it immediately changes not only the main elements but also all the gradient elements, not only the solid fills but also the gradient elements, and it's changing also the text colors immediately. So basically you just click here, you need to click twice, change 2 elements, and make this a little bit darker, and voila, we've changed our winter from being blue to being this magenta color. You can do this for all the other elements, and it's as simple as that to change the colors. Now let me bring this back. Let me just make it smaller. Okay, now the second thing we're going to talk about is editing the text. Now we can edit the text manually. Basically all you have to do is click on the text layer, double click on it, and then you can select it and change. Just type in your values or type in or copy and paste it. When it comes to the information folder, we need to go to the master page, and here we can, let me just change this. So I'm just changing one element, and now that I go to this the pages that have winter master applied to them, as you can see, the information here has been changed immediately. Now if you want to edit the font properties, you need to open the character font, and in order to do that we're going to go to Window, type in Tables, open the character panel, and here we can change the properties of our font. For instance, we can change the font family. So let's say we don't want to have color, we want to have Arial, and as you can see it changes immediately. Now if you have worked with InDesign before, you're probably aware of paragraph styles, and when it comes to editing this particular template, I strongly suggest editing these styles. So it's going to be super easy to edit all the elements that we have here, because we have a bunch of them, and their properties. So what you can do, let's say we want to change the month display. So we are going to find Sunday Springs month here, double click on it. Now when we go into basic character formats, we can change all the font elements like the display like I just showed you. So let's say we want to make it Arial and we want to make it bold, and as you can see it automatically changes. I'm going to change the case, make it all caps. So I can change indents and spacing. I can make the alignment on the left, on the right, center. Let me just leave it at center. Of course there are tabs, paragraph rules, a bunch of these elements that you can play with. And finally I can change the character color. So let me change this to something like this. As you can see, as you're changing it, it automatically changes on through entire design. Make sure you have the preview button checked so you can see the changes in real time. And let's say this is how we want this template to look. I'm going to press OK, and now when I scroll through the entire template design, you can see all the month elements have been changed immediately. So this is basically the fastest way if you want to edit some of the font elements. Go through paragraph styles. Each paragraph style is named clearly so you know what you're changing. For instance, the calendar dates, let's say we want to make them a little bit bigger, and if I have the preview button checked, when I size them, as you can see they are changing their size immediately. And the best thing is once I apply these changes, they're going to apply throughout the entire design. So that was it when it comes to editing the text. Of course you can edit the names of the weekdays if it's a different country. This template comes with French, German, English that starts with Monday, you know, that where week work starts with Monday, and we have the US version where week starts with Sunday. Okay, and finally let's talk about editing the images. Now there are different types of ways to edit the images and the logo, of course, because it all they all are part of the links. Let me just close these two because we won't need them anymore. Now we can go directly to the image, click on it, click on it, and let's say we go to File, Place, and then we can place our own image like this, and I can scale it. I center it here, and then I make it fit content proportionally. So now I can just size it the way I want, and that's one way of working with images. Now the other way of working with images is going to the link files. If you already have your images selected, I just select the image I want to change. So let's say this is number 4. I go to right click, go to relink, and I'm just going to place this one. Now of course I'm going to need to edit this, fill it up so it stands perfectly. Now the easiest way to do this is utilizing the image placeholders you have here. So let me just make this large icons. And the way I do it is simply edit them in Photoshop. It gives me more control over the image and how I want to place it, where I want to place it, etc. So now let me open up the Photoshop. Okay, now that I have the image open up, I can just place another image in it. Let's say I want to place this one. I can of course scale it, move it around. After I apply it, all I have to do is save the file. Go to File, Save. And once the file is saved, I can go back to the InDesign, and as you can see here, we have one of the links updated, actually modified. So all I need to do is double click on this link and this yellow triangle here, and as you can see, it will update the image immediately. Now another fun way of working with images is if you select, let's say, all three of these separate images, and then we go to Object, Paths, make compound path. It's going to make a compound path. Now I'm going to place an image here within this compound path. So we go to File, Place, and place this one. And now I'm gonna center it, and I'm going to fill it, and we get this effect. So you can either have three images here, or using the compound elements and creating a compound frame from these elements, you can choose to use like one image with this wide separations here. Okay, now the same rule applies with logos, only you need to change the logos in the master pages. Here's where you change them, and once you're done, all that you need to do is save the template and print it. Okay, that was it for this tutorial. If you have any questions regarding the template before or after purchase, or you need some additional help with it, please feel free to contact me and I'll try to respond as soon as possible. Have a fantastic day and bye.